Pirates 10 games out of first place at the All-Star break. Jumped on the shoulders of Brian Giles for the start of the second half and won 3 of 4 in Milwaukee. Then Aramis Ramirez at a ninth-inning game-winning home run in Houston as the Buccos grabbed 2 of 2 from the Astros. And this weekend, Adam Heisdu has turned into Adam West. Holy George Clooney, Robin. The Pirates are now just 7.5 games back of the Cardinals. A whole lot of fun at the ballpark this weekend, and a lot of Pirate fans coming out to see the Buccos and the first place St. Louis Cardinals ready for the third game of the series and the final game of this particular homestand. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good afternoon. Bob Walk is alongside. The Pirates 8-2 since the All-Star break, and the Buccos averaging 7 runs per game in the last 10.
Oh, it's been something else. You know, for the offense to wake up like this, the timing could not have been better. We got all these games against the Central Division, and we have all these games against teams that are in front of us. And it looks like we can actually start talking about how many games back we are instead of always talking about how many games under 500 we are. It's going to be an interesting second half if this offense can keep up the good work that it's done really since the All-Star break.
On Friday night, the St. Louis Cardinals acquired left-hander Chuck Finley from Cleveland. It's Finley against Josh Fogg this afternoon. And shiver me timbers, the Pirates could be 6.5 games out after today. Josh Fogg likes to get out there and get started. A number of times Josh this season has been ready to throw the first pitch even before the designated starting time. Josh Fogg 10-6, 20th start, and an earned run average of 3.58. And here we go. The first pitch, according to the stadium clock, at 1:34. Pitch to Fernando Vena's outside ball 1. I like that in Josh. Get the ball. Let's get going here. Ground ball up the middle, and a base hit. Jack Wilson was shaded a little bit into the hole on the left side. The St. Louis Cardinals lineup brought to you by Jeep, Vina, Polanco, Edmonds, Pujols, Martinez, J.D. Drew with his 13th home run of this series, Renteria, Matheny, and Finley. And now third baseman Polanco. Cardinals at 52-42, 21-24 as a road ball club, leading the Reds by 3.5 games. Fernando Vina, 12 stolen bases. He's been caught stealing 10 times. When we get to Bob's scouting report, you'll see that Fogg has done a good job dealing with opposing teams' running games. Vina's running, pitch a ball, and a stolen base. But Jason might have trouble getting a good grip on that ball.
Yeah, Jason really took a long time to get rid of it. That was stoled on Jason, not necessarily Fogg. Breaking ball down the way, really a tough pitch to throw on, and he didn't get a hold of it, and it really was all off balance when he threw it. Poor throw going down. And Jason really over the last week or so has been throwing great to second base. That's his first bad throw he's made probably since about the All-Star break.
Jason threw out Fernando Vina in the first inning last night, and then gunned down Marrero in the third. Benjamin backhanded stop. The out at first by play by Michael. On the play, Vina moves to third.
Let's take a look at that pitching scouting report now, brought to you by PNC. He has been hard to run on. Just 3 stolen bases now on him, 2 going into the game. And been real tough with runners in scoring position. Opponents hitting less than 200. A lot of home runs this year. Most of them, though, have been solo shots, so they haven't really hurt him.
And Lloyd McClendon decides to play the infield in. They're in the first inning with a runner at third and 1 out.
Managers will do that with 1 out early in the game. Nobody out, they'll play back.
Edmonds 10th in the National League in batting average, a mark of .316, 18 home runs, 47 RBIs.
The reason you hesitate to bring that infield in is because it increases the chances of the hitter getting a base hit. Makes it a little easier for him.
So it doesn't necessarily mean, Bob, that if you play the infield in early that you anticipate it being a low-scoring game?
No, you're just kind of rolling the dice, gambling to try and, with one out, get lucky, have them hit it right at somebody and stop that run. You know how managers are about scoring first. They always like to be the ones that put the run up on the board early.
Pirates scored 5 runs in the first inning last night. And the Bucs scored first on Friday night, scoring 3 runs in the second. High ball to left. Will Giles be unable to make the play? The ball's back into the seats out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third, 1 out.
Mike Edmonds really trying to stay back and just kind of punch that ball out toward left field. Doesn't get the base hit, then he'll maybe get a sacrifice fly at the least. Fogg, his job's trying to prevent it. Looks like they're going to try and go in.
Fair ball. I'm sure Kevin Young agrees with that call. It's a base hit by Edmonds that drives in Vigna. 1-0 St. Louis. First base umpire is Brian Runge.
Well, Kevin Young in tight, not much time to react to this ball. You can see right on the edge of the grass. But that's right over the edge of the chalk. And even if the infield's back, I don't think Kevin's going to have a chance of stopping that. It was just such a borderline fair ball.
Good call by Runge. Ted Barrett is the home plate umpire. Tim McClellan at second base. Chuck Merriweather at third. 2001 National League Rookie of the Year, Albert Pujols, 22 home runs this year. Tied for third in the league in RBIs. His 71 happens to be 12 RBIs behind the league leader Lance Berkman.
He's having as good or better year than he had last season. Fine sophomore season. Batting average maybe a little bit lower, but everything else about as good or better.
He can play the infield or the outfield. Action at third and in the outfield. Played some first base last year. He was starting a game at first base this year for St. Louis. I know, I take that back. He started 6 games at first base. Tino Martinez has started 84. 0-2 on Pujols. I'm always paying attention to Josh's facial expressions early in games. When he's been successful, he's had that little smirk on his face, even when he's been in trouble. There were a few starts, maybe a month ago, when he seemed to be awfully concerned, very serious, and somewhat anxious look on his face. And now a bit frustrated as he slaps at the ball that comes back to him from Kendall.
Yeah, he's got such good control of his breaking stuff. That was a very poor breaking pitch there, high and away to a right-hand hitter. Not close to where he wanted it, and you could see the frustration of that. He's not used to missing by that much with his breaking ball.
Fogg strikes out Pujols, 2 away. The Pirates defense brought to you by Hyundai. Adam Heisdu getting his 4th straight start in center field. Giles and Craig Wilson are also in the outfield. Jack Wilson at shortstop, Mike Benjamin playing second base, Ramirez and Young on the corners, Kendall catching. Adam Heisdu, who played center field for the national champion Connie Mack teams in Cincinnati in the 88 and 88, 89 amateur season. There's a foul ball back out of play by Tino Martinez, and everybody's buzzing about the job that Heisdu has done with the bat the last several days. A little mix-up in the outfield last night as Heisdu and Giles came together and did not make the catch. Came together in deep left center field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tino Martinez batting .242, 11 home runs, 45 RBIs. 1-0 Cardinals. Jack Wilson diving stop. Jack from his knees throws at Tino Martinez. Jumping Jack Flash with a spectacular play to close down the top of the first. The Cardinals have grabbed a 1-0 lead.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball is brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
Chuck Finley ready to pitch his first game for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he takes the mound in the bottom of the first, leading 1-0. Jason Kendall leads off for the Pirates. First pitch from Finley, a called strike. Kendall's average 286. A couple of home runs, 29 RBIs. Calaco to Martinez, one away. And the Pirates batting order, courtesy of Dodge, Kendall, Jack Wilson, Brian Giles, the first three. Aramis Ramirez, Craig Wilson, and Kevin Young in the middle three spots. Adam Heisdu, 7 for 10 in the series, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 6 runs scored. Benjamin batting 8th, and Fogg 9th.
Take a look at Finley's scouting report. Fastball, curveball, splitter. Has not given up a home run to a left-hand hitter since 2000.
Jack's fly ball to left center. In the gap. And over the fence. It'll be a book rule double. If that ball stayed in play, Jack might have had a shot at 3 bases.
Yeah, he was on his way. It looked like maybe Pujols could have caught this ball and pulled up, thinking Edmonds was going to catch it.
Edmonds, 4-time Gold Glover.
Edmonds is going pretty hard. He gives up on it, thinking he can't get to it. But Pujols right there, and from that shot, that angle, camera angle, the ball hits a lot further away from him than I thought from sitting up here in our catbird seats. It was just too deep by a little bit for anybody to catch it.
Okay, so Finley's not given up a home run to a left-hander since September of 2000. There's the challenge for you, Brian.
Take a look at it again. Defensively, he has never been real strong. So we got a couple of guys that aren't too bad with the bunt. Might be seeing some bunt base hits this afternoon.
Line drive off the glove of Renteria. If he catches the ball, he's got a double play. And the Pirates tie the game at 1. That's the second time in this series that a line drive has handcuffed Renteria.
That center field camera, you could see the movement of the baseball that Renteria had to deal with. Those line drives aren't straight as a string. Watch the ball bend. It's going to come off the bat. It looks like it's straight at the camera, and now it starts diving down toward the ground and almost hits Renteria in his hip. Comes off the bat. Renteria's thinking he's going to have to reach to his left, and then has to just protect himself.
Now that's interesting because the other day,
yesterday,
that was ruled a base hit, but Bob Hertzl charges an error on this particular play. No run batted in. And Bob Hertzl was the scorer yesterday. Ramirez takes a strike. Balls, 2 strikes, game tied at 1 in the bottom of the first inning. Ramirez 7 home runs, 33 runs batted in.
It really was a nice shot we had on that ball.
Well, sure was.
Hit the perfect spot. And so many times you just sit in the stands watching a game, a line drive goes out there. It looks like it's just a ball that's real straight, easy to catch, but you could really see the movement that ball had. started out up the middle and broke back probably 3 or 4 feet.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, some people say that, you know, curveballs don't really curve. Well, this is not a curveball out of somebody's hand, but watch the curve on that ball. Look at the trajectory as that ball came back toward the shortstop. And it's all spin. The spin came off the bat in that case.
And Jack Wilson had committed himself so that if Renteria makes that catch, he does have an easy unassisted double play to close out the inning.
Oh, to Jack's point of view, when it came off the bat, I'm sure he thought, boy, that's a line drive to center field. He didn't realize it was going to break back that far and basically just be right at Renteria.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Giles at first, a run in, 1 out. Chuck Finley picked up on Friday from Cleveland for minor league position player Luis Garcia and a player to be named. And Finley's last outing was a week ago, and no decision for the Indians against the Yankees. Gave up 7 runs in 3 in the 3rd innings. Finley with the Angels, 1986 through 99. 2.5 years pitching for Cleveland. Finley had back-to-back 18-win seasons in 90 and 91. 5-time All-Star, the winner of 193 major league games.
Looking at that fastball today, it's still in the low 90s. That last pitch, 93. So a little bit better velocity than I expected to see today.
Renteria to Vina. And the Cardinals get the double play, even though Giles went hit very hard on Fernando Vina. 6-4-3 double play ending the inning. The Pirates get a run on 1 hit. There was an error and nobody left on base. 1-1 after 1.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball is brought to you by Safe Auto Insurance. For every run the Pirates score this season, Safe Auto will donate $5 to Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
There's another shot over first base by a Cardinal. J.D. Drew leads off the second. Craig Wilson's throw to second base. An accurate throw, but that throw handcuffed Jack and might have caught Jack in the face.
I know Jack was really trying to hang in there because he knew he had a play. He would have liked to have had a little longer bounce on that throw. Boy, exactly like Edmonds' ball. Edmonds decided just to take the single. Drew's going all the way. Nice throw as far as on line, but an in-between hop.
Yeah, caught Jack in the cheek, on the left side of his face.
Yeah, that got him square too. That hurt. Way to knock it down, Jack.
And Biggerstaff, the head trainer, out to check on the Pirates shorts. That's pretty good shiner already.
Yeah. Got him right in the cheekbone. He's gonna have a pretty good black eye, you would think.
Well, we've had a lot going on already this afternoon. Let's take a look at the bottom of the 1st inning with Ramirez hitting the ground ball. Giles going in hard at second base, trying to break up the double play, but being able to get off the throw to first base.
A real hard slide, and saw them talk to each other. Didn't know if it was cordial or not, but it looks like Vina got up smiling. So I think Vina just saying, hey, that was a nice hard slide, but we got the double play anyway.
Didn't look like Brian was anxious to make eye contact with Vina.
Well, Brian plays the game pretty hard. He's a fun-loving character off the field. I don't know how fun-loving he is out there between the lines. So
Renteria leads the National League in batting average with runners in scoring position. Hitting .302 on the year, hitting .382 with runners in scoring position. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 ball game. Pitch down low. I went over and talked to Bob Hertzl, and Bob tells me that he feels that there was a good bit of difference between the ball that Reese hit in the 3rd inning last night and the line drive of Giles in the bottom of the 1st inning this afternoon. And that's why Bob ruled base hit on the ball that Reese hit last night and E6 on the Giles liner today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Josh Fogg 1-1 against the Cardinals. Losing to the Redbirds here at PNC Park May 26, 7-3 game in which Vigna hit a grand slam and Pujols and Edmonds hit solo home runs off Josh. And then a Fogg win at Busch Stadium May 31st. Catcher Matheny on deck. When you're a number 7 hitter and you've had some success driving in runs and putting the ball in play with runners in scoring position, do you still concentrate on hitting the ball to the right side to move the runner up, or because you're at the bottom of the batting order you're going to try to drive it in yourself?
You know, I think you're probably going to head and hit the ball to the right side. I mean, you got to have some confidence in that number 8 guy, especially on our team with Kofi Reed. He's going to be able to get the job done.
Well, the runner does not move up because the ball stayed in the air long enough that Drew had to hold his ground. 1 away.
Drew had no choice. He couldn't go anywhere. That was just bad luck on the Cardinals' part. Getting that ball in the air just long enough that there was a question whether it was going to be caught or not.
Matheny's average .215. Runner at second, 1 out. Each team scored a run in the 1st inning. Strike 1. Jose Oquendo back on the coaching lines. Oquendo was not here Friday night because of personal reasons, and so Joe Patini was the 3rd base coach Friday night and again last night, even though Oquendo did rejoin the ball club for the middle game. Dave McKay at first. Tony La Russa, the manager of the Cardinals, has been the skipper of the Redbirds since 1996. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jose Oquendo used to be the Cardinals' secret weapon. Now it seems to be Eli Marrero. Tony La Russa. He has managed teams into the postseason 8 times. 1 trip to postseason with the Chicago White Sox. 4 times managing the Oakland Athletics into games past the regular season, and 3 times with the Redbirds.
500 wins with 3 different clubs now.
Tony La Russa, highly regarded and has a degree, a law degree. There's another ball over the base. This time over 3rd base. Throw to 2nd base by Kevin Young, and Drew just did get back safely. 2 outs as Matheny grounds out.
Now, Kevin likes to throw behind runners. You got to be on your toes if you're running the bases. Most of the time that ball goes to 1st base, that's the end of the play. 1st baseman will make the catch, call time, and hand the ball back to the pitcher. But Kevin's always looking to make another out somewhere. Well, Benjamin almost missed that ball. I didn't realize it. He was so quick to make the tag. The ball hit it almost on his wrist.
Pitcher Finley batting, runner at second, 2 outs. Mike Benjamin with 108 consecutive games at second base without committing an error.
A tragic miss. That ball goes into the outfield, and Drew moves up to 3rd. It wasn't a bad throw. The throw was right there.
Strikes out Finley. The Cardinals get the leadoff double from J.D. Drew, but Drew is left at second base. Jack Wilson in the Pirate dugout with ice on his face after taking that ball off his face. Throw in from right fielder Craig Wilson on the J.D. Drew double. Cardinals defensively on the infield, Polanco, Renteria, Vina, and Martinez. Vina Gold Glover. Jim Edmonds is 1-4. Drew and right at Pujols, left. Matheny, Gold Glove catcher. Chuck Finley now ready to face Craig Wilson. Since the All-Star break, the Pirates winning 3 of 4 in Milwaukee, 2 of 2 in Houston, splitting the 2-game set here at PNC Park against the Reds and winning the first 2 games of this series. Craig Wilson, who's had some trouble putting up offensive numbers on the positive note at home and doing most of his good work on the road, but Craig had an RBI single late last night, and first time up here this afternoon, singles to left. We're going on the road, and then when we come back, we'll host the Colorado Rockies. Larry Walker and Todd Helton. And it's Giant Eagle Advantage Card Night, Tuesday, July the 30th. Game time 7:05. Get $4 off a reserve seat when you show your Giant Eagle Advantage card at PNC Park ticket windows. It'll be game 1 of the 3-game series against the Rockies. Walker leads the National League with a batting average of .352, and his teammate Todd Helton is 4th. Kevin Young has a 10-game hitting streak, swinging the bat at a .353 pace over the 10 games. Good bit of room on the right side. Second baseman Vina is almost positioned behind second base. We've got the first baseman Martinez holding Craig Wilson on.
Drive several school buses through that right side.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, last night we had 35,101 here at PNC Park, and we had a walk-up record. 7,650 baseball fans walked up and purchased tickets for last night's game, and they were well entertained. Called inside corner, first strikeout for Chuck Finley.
But he's just trying to make sure that the ball doesn't go to that right side. Keeping the ball way inside. Pretty straight fastball that Finley throws. A four-seamer that he just tries to hit spots with and does it with pretty decent velocity.
And now Adam Heisdu to step in. Heisdu playing his 13th game since getting called up from Nashville. 13 hits, 4 home runs. Adam went into last night's game with 7 RBIs, and he had 7 runs batted in last night. The first Pirate to drive in 7 runs in a game since Don Slaught did it back in the early 90s. One ball, 1 strike. Adam hit a grand slam Friday night. 2 home runs yesterday. Second time in his career that he's homered twice in a game. He had 2 home runs in his hometown at Cincinnati on the 4th of July last year. And Adam's out of Moeller High School, anxious to make the trip back to the Queen City. We're flying to Cincinnati tonight. Good bit of time in the minor leagues. Adam Heisdu signed his first pro contract in 1990. Didn't make it to the big leagues until 2000 with the Pirates. Fly ball to center. Edmonds makes the catch. 2 outs. Craig Wilson back to first.
Well, he's swinging good right now. It got backed off the plate with a fastball. That looked like a splitter. There was a way. He stayed back enough to almost get a dead center field home run. I think this is the same pitch that he swung and missed earlier. The splitter, which is kind of the changeup of Finley. Down and away a little bit. Almost rode it out of here.
Adams' grand slam Friday night was to left center field. His first home run last night to the seats in right center, and then his second home run last evening was into the pavilion seats in right above the Clemente wall. Adams say anything out of the ordinary to you last night on the post-game interview?
No, it was really a confusing interview.
Because of you, or because of him, or
both,
because of both of them?
Both of us. We're not at our best. There was a couple of times where he and I both had to say, "Okay, go ahead." We kept trying to talk at the same time.
Well, we do our post-game radio interviews with Bob or Steve upstairs and the player down at the clubhouse.
It is a little more difficult when you're interviewing somebody. There's no eye contact.
Yes.
And you end up kind of walking on each other a little bit. No broadcaster lingo.
Yeah, and you're not certain when you're not right there with your guest whether you've got his full attention or not. And then even you're not even sure you're paying attention or you're concentrating as well as you should. Two balls and 2 strikes on Benjamin. 1-1 ball game.
Ended up the interview. I said, well, you know, I can't remember the exact words. Something about there's a lot of reporters, waiting for you. I'll let you get at him, Adam. Or I said that, and I go, well, that was kind of corny, wasn't it? And he goes, yeah, it was. It was a interesting interview. There were a lot of people driving home last night, had their radios on in the car, were entertained by it, if nothing else.
Well, that's always your bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, entertainment. Might not have been real informative, but it was entertaining.
3-2, 2 outs. Craig Wilson getting ready to run. And Benjamin strikes out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. At the end of 2 innings, the Pirates won, the Cardinals won.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball is brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by UPMC. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it.
Ready for the top of the 3rd inning. 1-1 ball game. Fernando Vina singled in the 1st inning. Swiped 2nd. Advanced on the ground out and scored on Edmonds' single. Vina has 1 home run this year. A grand slam off Josh Fogg here at PNC Park on May 26th. If you travel with a Major League Baseball team, you inevitably at some point will hear that club complain about one of 5 things, and maybe all 5 at some point. The foul ball to play the 5 or weather, umpires' calls, travel, scheduling, and injuries. I'm not surprised that the Cardinals have been talking the last several days about their schedule. They were in California right after the All-Star break, played the Padres in San Diego and the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Then the Cardinals went home to St. Louis for 2 games and then moved into Pittsburgh. Jack Wilson makes a fine play to throw out Fernando Vina. And then after playing these 3 games and finishing up today, the Cardinals fly back to California. They've got a series coming up against the Giants, 4 games at Pacific Bell Park. Then they return home to St. Louis to host the Cubs. home for just 3 days, back on the road to Miami.
I really do, miss the days back pre-expansion when that schedule made so much sense. You know, you didn't even have to look at it. You knew where you were going. And
there's another ball over a base.
They are putting it on the lines.
This is the Cardinals' version of line dancing. All 4.
Man, they aren't tucking them inside the bag. They're hitting them right over the top of the bags. That one was at least a few inches fair.
And 3 of the 4 Cardinal hits have been over a base. Including a Jim Edmonds RBI single of the first. So you were saying you liked it better when
yeah, you played in your division whenever 3 times, whenever else twice. Whoever you were playing at home, you just played them on the road, or you're going to go on the road and play them.
Which what has made it extremely.
When you went to the West Coast, you played the teams that are out on the West Coast, all of them.
It has really added to the scheduling problems interleague play. Two balls and no strikes on Edmonds. Edmonds missed a couple of weeks early June because of wrist injury. The injury suffered when he was trying to score against the Pirates. He was thrown out by Brian Giles, which is a game at Busch Stadium. 3 balls, no strikes. Cardinals scoring in the first inning. J.D. Drew then doubled in the second to lead off the inning, but did not score. Polanco has doubled after 1 out, and the Pirates are going to intentionally walk Edmonds. Now that the count is 3-0, just put him on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh-oh.
And Mack and the home plate umpire.
He's yelling at Edmonds.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's Mack and Jim Edmonds, and Edmonds walking towards the Pirate manager. And Albert Pujols is over there as well.
Now is that Tony La Russa and Mack are getting into it. First. Everybody has to get loose, a little jog in. It's kind of funny the way the bullpen has to do this now. Uh-oh, we've got something going.
Over by the first baseline.
But it's like the bullpen guys, they have to run in together, but they really can't fight, I guess, until they get to the infield. So you're running side by side all the way in, and then once you hit the dirt, then you can do something, apparently. It's an interesting concept we have here at PNC Park with the bullpens. They have to run in together. I don't know what was going on over here to the side where actually some contact started being made. Something other than just mean words. I would imagine it's a good thing we have the crowd mics turned down right about this time. A lot of language not appropriate for the broadcast going on in the infield. I don't know what's going on. What I guess the umpire just say, hey, everybody just go back and let's play baseball. Trent Jewett trying to escort Mack back to the dugout. I don't know what caused it, but Mack and Edmonds started jawing at each other.
Well, the umpires are going to have a quick meeting.
Now watch the bullpen and come running in, Lanny.
Well, wait a minute. Well, McClellan's going to talk to Mac here. Yeah, watch. Hear the bullpen's coming in.
Now, if this was an actual, really a brawl going on, wouldn't that be an odd situation, having to run in side by side with the team you're having a problem with?
I wish I could read lips.
Yeah, I don't know. This delay, of course, is not really good for Fogg. He's just kind of having to stand around out there. Mac would like to end this as quickly as possible, this discussion with McClellan. It looks like he's explained his position, and we can get back to baseball now.
Pujols to step in with a couple of men on and one out. The intentional walk of Edmonds after the double of Polanco.
Josh loves to work fast. That had to be like I was watching him. He's just pacing out there.
And a ball hit well by Pujols to left field. 3-run home run. Pujols is 23rd of the year. 4-1 St. Louis.
And now Fox doing a little more pacing. He has been hurt by home runs this year, but most of the time they're solo shots. Not this one. Mac is not real happy right now.
Fly ball into right center. Benjamin makes the catch, 2 outs. Josh Fogg has given up 20 home runs this year. And 5 of the 20 have been hit by Cardinals.
Kind of looking forward to now after the game to find out what that was all about. I'm with you. I wish I could read lips. I still don't understand what caused all that.
Check swing bouncer off the bat of Drew. Now the Cardinals scored 3 runs on 2 hits. There was an intentional walk in there and nobody left on base. Middle of the 3rd, Cardinals 4, Pirates 1. Josh Fogg to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. 4-1 St. Louis. Fogg's average 152. Josh has 5 hits. Pujols hitting a 3-run homer in the top of this 3rd inning after there was the flare-up between the Pirates and Cardinals, specifically between McClendon and Jim Edmonds. 1-2 strikes.
Kind of watching that Edmonds at bat over again to see if we could pick up something. And
2-2 on Josh. Base hit to right. All 6 of Josh's hits this year singles. Almost had a double the other night. Remember, we had the game at Houston. Fan interfered. The umpires ruled that it should be a single. 3rd Pirate hit of the day. Chuck Finley, 193 Major League wins, a win over the Pirates and Chris Benson in Cleveland on July 14th of 2000. Game in which Kevin Young homered off Finley. Strike 1 on Kendall. The Red Sox and Yankees at Yankee Stadium this afternoon. It's Boston 6. The Yankees 5 in the 4th inning.
Well, Lenny, I just got done watching the whole at bat, and and I really never saw anything until the yelling started. Now there might have been something there that, you know, we missed. Maybe something was even going on before that at bat that we don't know about. But anyway, we got some runs to get back.
And we've got a couple of men on. Fogg to second on the Kendall single up the middle.
Well, the way this club is scoring runs right now, it's going to take a lot more than 4 to beat them.
Jack trying to make sure he's got his left eye open as much as possible with the swelling.
Well, if he's real tough, if swells up, be like a fighter, he'll, hey, cut me.
Oh. Now Jack leads the major leagues in sacrifice bunts.
Doesn't look too bad right now.
Cardinals have set up to defense the bunt. Jack swings away. Foul territory and a strike. Pena tried to make a sliding catch, gave it a good shot.
And went into that slide for 2 reasons. He wasn't sure where Drew was, wasn't sure where the railing was. And you go into that slide, try to slide underneath the ball. At least you slow down and you don't hurt yourself with a collision or smacking into that railing. And the railing here at PNC Park down that line is only a little bit above the knee. You could really go flipping quickly into those stands.
Jack gets the bunt down, throw to third, and the out of Josh Fogg. Matheny to Pujols. 1 away.
Well, Polanco did a nice job of getting back to that base. Polanco right now, he can't see him, but he is backpedaling, trying to find the base, and he can't take his eye off the catcher, and just barely got his foot there in time. Josh Fogg tried to slide real late. That's the quickest way to get to the bag, is the late slide, because once you hit the dirt, of course, you start slowing down. But when you slide late, you hit that bag with a pretty good speed. It's easy to get hurt. You can see that Fogg almost flipped himself up over the bag.
2 on, 1 out. Kendall the runner at second. Jack Wilson at first. 4-1 Cardinals, 3rd inning. It's just missed Brian.
Be a good time to mention again, Finley hasn't given up a home run to a left-hander since the 2000 season. You might have to mention that almost every Giles at bat.
Sounds like a good plan. Well, I guess there's been some debate for many years about whether you can jinx a player on an opposing team.
I think though that whether you can or not, you still have to make the effort.
Giles swings at a 3-0 pitch.
It's, just in case. That's what superstitions are all about anyway, just in case.
It would be unprofessional not to. Brian Giles hitting .444 against the Cardinals this year.
You get a man at third, I'm going to drop another one on Mr. Finley here, too.
3-2 on Brian.
You'll have to wait until they had a runner at third for it.
Okay, now what do you do? 2 men on and 1 out, 3-2 on Giles. See if Mack has Kendall and Jack Wilson running. Cardinals 4, Pirates 1, 3rd inning. Runners not going. Giles walks, the bases are loaded. All right, we got a runner at third now.
Chuck Finley has 128 career wild pitches, and he has only thrown 2 wild pitches in the last 2 years. I don't know what that. I looked at that earlier. I'm using it here for the jinx effect, but earlier I was looking at that thinking maybe that tells you something about his split finger fastball, which is his big pitch over the last couple of years. Because when somebody throws a lot of splitters and it's a real good splitter, you're going to get some wild pitches. Now, when you've thrown 128 in your career, that's a bunch. And then all of a sudden, you go one this year and one last year. Maybe that splitter is not dropping like it used to.
Ramirez fouled off the first pitch. Aramis has 3 career grand slams against Houston, Arizona, and San Diego. Bases loaded, 1 out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kendall the runner at third. Jack Wilson at second. Brian Giles at first. Strike on the inside corner. 1 out. Ball into the seats. Each team scored a run in the first inning. In the top of this third, Albert Pujols hit a 3-run homer off Josh Fogg, giving the Cardinals the 4-1 lead. This is Chuck Finley's first start for the Redbirds. Picked up Friday night from Cleveland. The Reds are trying to get Kenny Rogers from the Texas Rangers. Rogers, last time we checked, did not approve the deal, and he can do so. He needs to before it's consummated. Base hit to left field by Ramirez. Kendall scores. Jack Wilson scores. Giles on his way to third. Now Ramirez to second. The Pirates trail by a run, and now have runners at second and third. 1 out.
It's a real poor decision by Pujols. He had no chance of throwing Giles out at third base, but he could have kept the double play in order. But he throws the ball all the way to third, and that allows Ramirez to get into scoring position with just 1 out. And the ball hooking out there. There's no way he's going to throw out Giles. He should just pick the ball up and threw the ball to second base, kept Ramirez at first.
The Pirates trail by a run. It's been a great weekend here at PNC Park. An awful lot going on. 12-9 win Friday night, 15-6 Pirate victory last night, and Pirates with a fly ball can tie the game. A base hit can put the Pirates in front.
The Cardinals are going to play in at first base, kind of in at third, and back up the middle. Now, if this was a third base only situation, you'd probably see Tony do this like Mac, but right now just in a little bit over here, in here, and they're looking just to get an out, short and second.
1 ball, 1 strike.
This game's really shaping up just like the other two. It's going to be dominated by offense. 7 runs, and we're not out of the third. No swing.
Finley 4-11 pitching for Cleveland with an ERA of 4.44. 105 1/3 innings pitched for the Cleveland Indians this year. 91 strikeouts. And Finley has a couple of strikeouts this afternoon. Runners at second and third, 1 out. 4-3 Cardinals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Second place Cincinnati Reds out in front of the Mets 6-0 in the 4th inning at Synergy. Homer DeCinge pitching today for the Reds, former Pirate. We'll count 2-2 on Craig Wilson. Edmonds playing shallow in center field. Now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's almost a straight line from Pujols, the left fielder, across to right fielder Drew.
Well, it is a straight line. Look at that. Kind of straight. Had a little break at the end.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball. Go to the plate. Safe. The game is tied at 4. Ramirez stays at second as Giles scores, and Craig Wilson safe at first.
And I remember when we were talking about the infielders where they're playing.
Yes.
I said they're playing kinda in at third base, not in all the way. That's why Giles is safe. If he is 2 steps further in on the grass, Giles is going to be out. It's that close. Just those 2 steps being back on the dirt, that allows Giles to beat the throw.
Fielder's choice RBI for Craig Wilson.
You got to make up your mind, either in or you're back. You try to defend against everything, you defend against nothing.
There's 1 out, 2 men on. What did you tell me, Frederick the Great?
Oh, I can't remember now who that was.
You told me and I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Kevin Young's fly ball to right center field. Drew makes the catch. 2 outs. Ramirez tags up and moves to third. Craig Wilson stays at first.
Even when KY is making outs now, you can see the difference in the way the ball's coming off the bat. Hitting the ball hard the other way.
Adam Heisdu, 11 RBIs in the last 3 games, including 7 last night. Time has called Matheny to the mound.
It might have been, I think the guy's name's Clausewitz. We're asking about that coach.
Last night, Adam Heisdu with his 2 home runs, 2 3-run shots, one off Travis Smith, the other off Dave Beers. Well, Frederick the Great.
Oh, no, so it was.
Heisdu, the 8th Pirate to bat in the inning.
Frederick would have either had his third baseman in on the grass or playing back guarding against that base hit to left. One of the two. No compromise.
Two balls, no strikes. The Cardinals jumped out in front 4-1 by way of the Pujols 3-run homer in the top of this inning, but Pirates have answered with 3. Ramirez knocked in 2 with a single, and Craig Wilson picked up an RBI by way of a fielder's choice.
And watching that radar line up here early in the game, Finley's fastball, a lot of 91, 92, 93s. Now a lot of them are in the 80s. Velocity's starting to back off a little. One that's 90. Splitter, I believe that pitch was. We'll see it mid to low 80s, and it'll look like it has a little drop to it. Used to have a whole lot of drop to it. I believe that's what that pitch was.
Finley, 39 years of age, from Monroe, Louisiana. 4-4 game, third inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Craig Wilson getting ready to run. Craig was at first base in the second inning on a 3-2 pitch to Benjamin. They continued to play Martinez at first. Did so in the second. It's the alignment here in the third.
A splitter.
They walk Heisdu. Loads the bases for Mike Benjamin.
You can see in that shot of the glove, middle finger, index finger split wide over the top of the baseball. It takes velocity and topspin off the ball.
The Pirates 4, the Cardinals 4. Third inning, bases loaded, 2 outs.
You wouldn't think the Cardinals can afford another early exit by a starter. They need innings today out of Finley. Finley throughout his career has been known as a guy that throws a ton of innings, prides himself on getting above 200 innings. But one thing he's never had to deal with, and that's having to hit and being pinch hit for in games like this.
Convenient to Martinez. The Pirates send 9 men to the plate in the third. The Buccos score 3 runs. After 3 innings, Pirates 4, Cardinals 4. You're watching Pirates Baseball, produced exclusively for WB22 by Fox Sports Net. Our producer is Tom Hewitt, director Brian Sipe, along with associate producers Mark Bedonick and Lynn Holden. For the 4th inning, Josh Fogg ready to face the bottom third of the Cardinal batting order. His fly ball, right field line. There's Kevin Young in foul territory, making the catch and 1 away.
Gave you a real good look at just how high or how low that railing is over there. It just comes up just a little bit above the knee, and if you hit it with any velocity, you're just going to flip right in there. And he just kind of barely bumped into it, but if you go in there very fast, you're not going to stay on the playing field.
Cincinnati 6, the Mets nothing in the 5th. Barry Larkin has homered for the Reds. Atlanta 1, Phillies nothing in the 5th inning. Gary Sheffield, home run number 18. And Kevin Millwood has not given up a hit to the Phillies through 4 innings. Benjamin makes the catch. Timed his leap perfectly. Matheny the second out.
Yeah, had a great read on it. Knew when to get up. You don't lose much with that glove, no matter where you put Benji on the infield. Play him at first, second, short, third, doesn't make any difference. Knows how to play them all, and plays them all very well. Pokey getting the afternoon off. Kind of a quirk in the stats. Benjamin's actually played more games this year than Pokey Reese has.
And Chuck Finley's fly ball to left. Dropped inside the line. A 2-out double.
Finley's first major league hit after an 0 for 26 start.
An 0 for 26 start in Finley's career. It's his first major league hit.
39 years old. He finally got a hit.
And the ball goes to the Cardinal dugout.
He's probably got a whole bunch of baseballs somewhere with a lot of stuff written on them, but Never anything for the offense. Jack, when they came in and said something to Finley, probably said, hey, congratulations, kid, on your first hit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Jack said.
Well, whatever it was made Finley smile. Might have been something like that.
6 Cardinal hits today, 4 extra base hits. Strike. Pirates 7.5 games back of the first place Cardinals. The Bucks were 10 games out of first place at the All-Star break. Third place Houston is 6 out. And the Astros lead the Cubs 2-0 in the second inning. Lance Berkman hitting a home run, his 30th of the year. Berkman leads the major leagues in home runs, or leads the National League in home runs. Alex Rodriguez tops the American League with 32. That Astros Cubs game features Roy Oswalt and John Lieber. Stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Each team scored a run in the first. Each club scored 3 runs in the third.
Fogg wanting to throw something that Kendall didn't want him to throw, and that's a good move there. Call timeout. This is you don't want to give up a cheap run here. You got 2 outs. Don't make a mistake. Make sure you're on the same page. Like they came with a slider. I would imagine, I don't know it for sure, but Fogg probably pretty much stays with whatever Kendall puts down. I wouldn't think at this stage of his career he would shake him off very often.
Vina refuses to go away. Keep in mind that Fernando Vina is the 3rd toughest hitter to strike out in the National League. Jason Kendall's number 1. Four ball game, 4th inning. Into center field. Ball drops in, and Finley scores. Throw to second base. Jack Wilson to Mike Benjamin. Out at second, but the Cardinals have reclaimed the lead. Vina gets credit for an RBI single. And the out at second base score is 6-4. Heisdu couldn't get there. Jack Wilson going out, picked the ball up and got the out at second, but it's 5-4 Cardinals. Pirates host the San Francisco Giants the weekend of August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and it's Heritage Fest Day on Saturday, August 3rd. Between 4 and 7 on Federal Street, enjoy music, games, and activities for the whole family, courtesy of WAMO. For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS or log on to PittsburghPirates.com.
I was wondering how you were going to read that, because it says Heritage Fest Day, and then here it says Heritage Day Fest. I was wondering which one which one's correct. It's got it 2 different places on the same card like that. Is it Heritage Fest Day or Heritage Day? And it's a festival. problems of life.
Well, I probably will get no sleep at all tonight.
I was very curious how you were going to handle that.
I just kind of glossed right over it.
I don't think you noticed it.
No, I just noticed you pointing. Josh Fogg single started the Pirates' 3-run third, and Josh leads off the fourth.
Because that was the line I wanted you to read. I wanted to see how you read it.
So you pointed to it, and I glossed over it.
Yeah, you still kind of moved right by it.
Looper to right. Fair ball. Josh Fogg, 2 for 2. And these two pitchers are a combined 3 for 4.
Fogg trying to prove that he can't get a double on that ball off the fence down there.
See, I thought the umpires called it right the other day in Houston. Lloyd didn't agree.
Well, there's the ball right there, and Fogg just went to first.
I talked to Mac about it the next day. I said, Mac, didn't you really think the umpires called it right? He said, no, I thought the ball was going to kick off the fence, or how did they know it wouldn't kick off the fence? And Josh would have gotten 2 bases. But those that have the misconception about fan interference, it's not automatically 2 bases. The umpires put the batter runner where they believe.
If the fan hadn't touched the ball, where would that runner have gone?
The batter and or any other runners.
Yeah.
Five-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Quite an at-bat for Fernando Vina. Fouled off numerous pitches, and then got the single to center to drive in Chuck Finley. Finley had doubled after 2 outs. Finley's first major league hit blossoms into a go-ahead run.
Pitches in 1 inning. 39, I think, which matches his age.
Kendall strikes out. It is the first out of the 4th inning. Finley picking up his 3rd strikeout of the game. Originally, the Cardinals had announced that Andy Bennis would start today. Bennis pitching the relief yesterday. Finley getting the start. Picked up from Cleveland the other day.
Kendall very tough to fan, but Finley gets him. I think again that was the splitter. I really haven't seen a big curveball from Finley today. If he is throwing a conventional breaking pitch, it's more like a slider than a curve. There it is. Right on cue. Haven't really seen one today. Next pitch, big hook for a strike.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah. How about that?
He was probably thinking just before that pitch.
I haven't thrown a hook yet today.
Count 0-2. Jack seemed quite certain that was going to be a foul ball. He didn't get that far out of the batter's box.
Yeah, he's looking right down the line at it. He can watch the movement. Kind of make his guess. Didn't land foul by a whole lot, though.
The ball's 2 strikes.
Looked like that cheek swelled up as much as we originally thought it was going to.
Good medical attention.
Oh, that's nice.
Edmonds makes the catch, 2 outs. Josh Fogg stays at first. 4th inning. Pirates trailing 5-4. Talking about this Cardinal rotation. We're not seeing Jason Simon-Tachi or Matt Morris this weekend. Simon-Tachi 7-1. Morris an 11-game winner. Simon-Tachi pitches tomorrow in San Francisco. Morris on Tuesday. Then Andy Bennis is slated to pitch as the Cardinals starter on Wednesday. Ryan hit a line drive at shortstop Renteria in the first inning. It went as an E6, and Jack Wilson scored the Pirates' first run on the play. And Brian walked and scored in the third inning. I don't know if we've told you this or not, but Chuck Finley's not given up a home run to a left-handed batter since September of 2000. One ball, two strikes.
Good eye, Brian.
Kind of pitch that makes you want to go, whoa.
Yeah.
Strike three. Ball gets away from Matheny. And the strikeout is completed 2-3. No runs, one hit, and a man left on base through 4. The Pirates trail 5-4, and the Bucs have stranded 5. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Pirates may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pirates.
What are you reading about, Len? I can see you reading.
I was just double checking. I see that Jason Conti, Pittsburgher, has hit a home run for Tampa Bay today. Just want to see if I had a couple additional notes on Jason or not. Guess I don't.
Well, then that gives us time to check our UPMC injury update.
Armando Rios has now played 6 games at Nashville. He's 4 for 21.
And weren't you telling me that you got the impression that it's still going to be a while before we see him end his rehab assignment?
Talked to both Lloyd McClendon and Dave Littlefield about that. And Ryan Vogelsong, who had been pitching at Lynchburg, or for Lynchburg, is going to pitch for Altoona on Tuesday. At the end of the month, we'll be coming close to the end of the 30-day period for Vogelsong's rehab assignment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he couldn't be activated and then sent out to the minor leagues. First tabs on Ryan's progress, picked up from the Giants last year along with Armando Rios. Ernie Els has won the British Open 5-hole playoff against 3 other players. For those of you that have maybe just turned over from that telecast to check out your buckos, the Pirates and Cardinals tied at 1 after 1 inning, and then Albert Pujols hit a 3-run homer in the Cardinal third, 4-1 St. Louis. But the Pirates scored 3 runs in the bottom of the third, getting 2 of the 3 on a single by Aramis Ramirez. 4-4 game after 3, and then on the top of the 4th inning, after 2 outs, Chuck Finley doubled and scored on Fernando Vina's 2-out bloop single to center. And we had a flare-up in this ball game back in the 3rd inning. Jim Edmonds and Lloyd McClendon were exchanging pleasantries, verbal pleasantries. Bouncer up the middle, and Jack Wilson unable to head that ball off. Second hit for Polanco. A little bit like Kevin Gross and Jimmy Leyland.
Everybody,
Jim Edmonds.
Oh, I was thinking about what you were saying, and then I heard everybody in the ballpark start going and couldn't figure it out. Edmonds stepping in. This was a shot we needed before. Of course, we didn't have our crystal ball, so anything was going to happen.
When Edmonds was batting in the 3rd, the first 3 pitches from Fogg to Edmonds were balls, and then Lloyd McClendon ordered the intentional walk, and that's when we got the flare-up.
I got word that the Cardinal broadcast crew thought that maybe Edmonds was upset about those 3 pitches that were inside. Who knows? We'll have to wait till after the game to find out.
2 balls, 1 strike. No doubt you noted the initials on the right sleeve of the Cardinal uniform, paying tribute to their longtime broadcaster Jack Buck, who died on June the 18th of this year. And so many of the Cardinals have the number 57 on their hats, remembering their teammate and good friend Darryl Kile, who died June 22nd. Base hit by Edmonds, and Polanco goes to third. First and third, nobody out. And Josh Fogg has given up 9 hits and 5 runs so far.
And this is a series that no pitcher has really gone out there and had a real easy time of it. I guess of all the starters, maybe Benson probably the best game so far. Chris went 5 innings last night. Gave up just a couple, I believe. No, just 1.
Home run by Drew. Each of the first 3 hitters in the Cardinal lineup, 2 hits so far today. And the number 4 hitter, Albert Pujols, hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. Middle infielders double play depth. It's low and outside, ball 1. St. Louis 5, the Pirates 4. And 2 balls, no strikes. Pujols has 74 runs batted in. The league leader is Lance Berkman. Berkman has 85 after hitting the 2-run homer at Wrigley Field today. Unanimous choice for National League Rookie of the Year in 2001. Balls and no strikes.
A little tougher this year to pick one. There is a slew of good candidates, including the guy standing on the mound right now.
Three balls, 1 strike. Josh Fogg has won 10 games.
You said that Josh easily could put up 15, 16 wins this year. Already has 10. And most years, if you're a rookie pitcher, if you win 15 or 16 as a starter, you're going to win it. Pretty competitive this season.
Base hit to left center field by Pujols. Polanco scores. 6-4 Cardinals. Edmonds a wide turn, then stops as Giles gets the ball to Jack Wilson. 3 straight hits here in the 5th inning. Nobody out.
Well, the bullpen has been quiet for the Pirates, but that's probably going to end. It looks like there's some stirring around now. And Lincoln?
Mike Lincoln. That's been Williams on his way to the mound.
Yeah, he waited just before Martinez was going to get into the box. And a slow walk out there. He's just going to buy some time for Lincoln right now.
Bob, are there a lot more occasions where pitchers and coaches are going to the mound these days than, say, 15 years ago? And is it because pitchers are more inexperienced?
I don't. You might be right. I'm not real sure about that. I would say until this year, it's probably because offense has taken over the sport. The ERAs are so high. There's so much more going on out there with the bats. There's just more occasion for the pitching coaches, I think, to have to make trips. Yeah, I think too it depends on the coach himself too. Some pitching coaches are very active. They like to get out there. They like to talk to their pitchers. And some just don't seem as anxious to go out there unless it's a situation like this where you're trying to take some time off the clock. Of course, there's not really a clock, but I'm figure of speech. I'm trying to give the bullpen time to get a few extra tosses in.
2 balls and 1 strike.
I'm of the belief that 99% of the time there's nothing you're going to tell that pitcher out there that's struggling that's going to make much of an impact. You know, as far as like mechanics and stuff like that.
Base hit by Martinez. Edmonds scores. Throw in from Heisdu up the line on the play. Pujols goes to third, and now it is 7-4 St. Louis.
Yeah, the timing you go out there and it's really something. You're going over a scouting report of a pinch hitter perhaps, or you're saying, okay, we don't want this guy to beat us, pitch around him, don't throw him a strike. I mean, that's when you're going out there and you're really getting, you know, some kind of a point across. But when you go out there and you tell somebody, you know, your hands look like they're here or something like that during a ball game, that's real tough for a pitcher to make any kind of adjustment like that. And you're really just kind of killing time when you go out like that.
A pitching change for the Pirates in the 5th. 7-4 St. Louis. Back with more in a moment. Appearance for Mike Lincoln. No wins, 2 losses, no saves. We were talking just a moment ago about the large number of trips that pitching coaches are making to the mounds this year. I'm one that believes the game would be well served to legislate against trips to the mound. Find other ways to do whatever has to be done, but it is, in my opinion, so boring to the game.
Well, I don't think it would have a very big impact on the game itself other than cut down on time. And like I just said, not much. I've been out there. Not much goes on. It's you know, it's to waste time. Well, you know, to give the bullpen, give Mike Lincoln time to get loose.
First pitch, ground ball off the glove of Mike Benjamin. Out at first. Pujols scores an 8th Cardinal run, 8-4 St. Louis. Martinez to second base.
Boy, another almost error for Mike Benjamin. What is he? He's 15 games away from setting the consecutive game errorless streak.
Tying Ryan Sandberg's National League record. Yeah.
National League record. Sandberg has the record, and Benjamin needs to keep his errorless string going at second base. And twice today he's had balls go off his glove, but not go for errors. He was able to regroup on that one.
I think your Renteria is being intentionally walked. Go back to this discussion about trips to the mound, Bob. Do you think there'd be I'm sorry, go ahead. You want to talk about something else?
No, I just want to say that these trips, like that trip that Spin went out there for, that was, if Lincoln wouldn't be in this game right now if Spin hadn't went out there, because it was not enough time for him to get loose before Martinez, I think it was Martinez, yeah, Martinez got the base hit. And so that was strictly to draw the game out and make it last longer. There was nothing else really it was for, was that.
But you'd have to find, if you could not go to the mound, you'd have to find other ways to.
Yeah, you're right. They would still, you know, you'd send the catcher to the mound. You'd have, you'd call for like 5 straight pickoff throws over to first base, and you would. You're right. You would find other ways to delay the situation.
Of course, I might be inclined, if I were commissioner of baseball, to legislate against catchers and infielders going to the mound too. So I do. I think it's just.
You want to isolate that pitcher, don't you?
Well, not so much isolate him.
It's a lonely position out there as it is.
I understand. At least that I've never been there, but from what I've heard you and Steve say, that I have that impression.
The trips from the dugout, as I said, 9 times out of 10, you're standing there and you know all they're doing is buying time for the bullpen to get loose.
But you don't believe that you can go out as a pitching coach and make some kind of suggestion that's going to enhance the pitcher from a mechanical standpoint?
I will never say never, okay, but I think it's going to be the rare occasion where you can go out and tell him something and mill that diamond, and he's going to make an adjustment in his mechanics, and all of a sudden he's going to be locked in where, you know, a pitch before he was struggling. You might go out and say, hey, you know, just pound your sinker in on this guy and get us a ground ball and, you know, get us back in the dugout. And and you go and you throw a couple of hard sinkers in on a guy's hands, and he hits the ground ball, and okay, that helped out. That's not the kind of advice I'm talking about. And that's the kind of advice that really, your catcher could go out and tell you that.
Wilson to Benjamin, and the out at second base. And Renteria second out of the inning. Martinez the third, and Matheny safe at first. Next up is Chuck Finley. So what have we had? 54 runs scored in this series. Buccos win 12-9 Friday, 15-6 last night, and the Cardinals on top 8-4 this afternoon.
Well, the bottom line, Lanny, for our discussion here is that if you succeed in that, it won't bother me at all.
Okay, good. Called strike.
Heck, you don't even have to go out there to change pitchers. You can just, walk to the.
Now you're
walk
talking.
to the home plate umpire. With your scorecard, say, okay, this is the guy I want to go in, and then the home plate umpire goes out and makes a change.
I like that idea.
And then you don't even have any of those uncomfortable pitcher-manager confrontations that we see at times. Yell at the umpire. You probably want to yell at him anyway.
Hey, Bob, let me ask you a question. Do you think the scoreboard did some creative editing to get that picture of Chuck Finley?
Yeah, I guess.
We have the technology to do that, don't we?
Sure, you just got a blue background. You just take this hat off. It goes off. And you put the new hat on, whichever you want. Indian hat gone, Cardinal hat. The only problem is that he's not wearing the red one today, is he? Aren't they wearing their dark hats today?
Well, they probably just took a Cardinal hat from somebody else. And Finley strikes out. Well, we're talking about some big stuff here this afternoon. Unfortunately, the Cardinals have the big stuff lead, 8-4. Albert Pujols has knocked in 4 runs this afternoon. The Cardinals 8, the Pirates 4, coming up the bottom of the 5th inning. Ramirez, Craig Wilson, and Kevin Young. Is that your rally pipe?
Rally pipe. We're going to score some runs this inning. Who's hitting? Ramirez,
middle
Wilson,
third.
Young.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Four-plus innings for Fogg. 11 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned runs. Do you have experience with this rally pipe actually doing the job?
I've only owned this pipe for a week, man. This is an experiment. A neophyte.
Did you ever find out what the name of that tobacco was?
The Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper. You look very distinguished smoking a pipe. You probably have a smoking jacket at home, don't you?
Yeah.
Bright red velvet coat. Can you folks
smoking T-shirt?
I have this scary vision of you at home wearing a red velvet smoking jacket with an ascot.
With an ascot.
Have you ever worn an ascot?
The only thing I know
in your life?
about ascot is that there used to be a racetrack in California called Ascot Park. That's it.
Rama's down on strikes, 1 away, and Chuck Finley has 5 strikeouts. He has struck out 3 of the last 4.
The low guy seems to be becoming a little more effective after that 40-pitch inning.
I wonder what that was about. Home plate umpire Ted Barrett went out towards the mound to give Finley the ball. Like he wanted to deliver a message. Craig Wilson getting his 2nd hit of the game. 1-out single, Pirates trailing 8-4. Red Sox and Yankees tied at 7 in the 7th inning. Manny Ramirez has hit 2 home runs. Red Sox teammates Nomar Garcia-Parra and Tony Clark 1 each. Jason Giambi and Bernie Williams hit back-to-back home runs in the Yankee first. New York 3 games in front of the Red Sox in the American League East. Atlanta 2, Philadelphia nothing in the 7th inning at the Vet. And Cincinnati leads the New York Mets 8-0 in the 7th.
On that fastball, 89. Even though he's not throwing as hard as he was first couple innings, it seemed to make much difference. His really prime years, he was had that mid-90 mile an hour fastball. You throw it up there up to 95 miles an hour with that real good hard splitter, and he would rack up the strikeouts. And there's the splitter. See the fingers go real wide over the top of the baseball. And he also had that real good overhand curveball, which he just put on display once for us today. If this was the baseball, normally, you know, your fingers are just right over the top of it. When he's throwing that splitter, he splits his fingers out wide, almost just to the outside of the seams. There you see him go. What that does is it, you know, when your fingers are off to the side, you can't push the ball to the plate as fast, so it takes off velocity. And because you're not pulling down on the seams, your fingers are kind of slipping along the sides of the ball at release, and that also then takes off backspin. So you don't have that spin, and aerodynamically, then the ball doesn't want to stay up. Gravity will take a hold of it a little sooner, and that makes the ball dive to the plate. So it's slower, and it's got that drop to it. That's your basic splitter and why it goes down. And just for the kicks, we see the big curveball again.
Strikeout Adam Heisdu, our Geico Direct moment quote from Adam. It's just one of those things, talking about the success that he's had in this series in the first 2 games.
Basically what he told me yesterday on the that was like kind of our first question. Hey, what's going on out there with you? Well, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Just riding the wave.
Yeah, that got the interview off to a good start. Since I had no second question prepared, I had to go, oh, well, hey, I heard it was your grandma's birthday yesterday. That was my second question.
Was it really? I'm glad I provided you with such a great second question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he told me you were wrong.
Well, was I wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't listening to Steve's interview, but yeah. Well, Chuck Finley strikes out the side, or strikes out 3 of the 4 batters that he faces in the inning, and has 7 strikeouts in the game.
Pirates Baseball is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. And by Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Ready for the 6th inning. Now, I'm telling you, Steve interviewed Adam Friday night, and I swear Steve told me, because I didn't hear the interview, I swear Steve told me that it was Adam's grandmother's birthday, but Adam told you it was his mom's birthday. Okay, there, we've got that clear. Straightened out.
Adam just messing with us.
Yeah, it's possible.
Might have been
too.
his aunt's birthday. I don't know. Adam Ant.
On our radio broadcast, we each game designate a significant moment, and in this one so far, might be the Vigna base hit of the 4th inning. He fouled off a lot of pitches right after Finley, the pitcher, had doubled after 2 outs. And Finley blew a single in the center field. That put the Cardinals up 5-4. They lead at 8-4 as we start the sixth. One ball and two strikes. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Pirates Public Relations Director Jim Trudinich, who is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to James, brother love. How old do you think Jim Trudinich is today? What would be your guess? No, he's older than that, isn't he?
I don't know. That's my guess.
Oh, okay. I won't dispute it then.
What's your guess?
I would have said 37, 38.
Oh. Well,
One away in the sixth.
How old do you think Jimmy was when he started working for the Pirates? I guess
24, 25.
Well, then you're probably, yeah, you're okay. I see your point. Yeah, I guess I'm just always trying to guess a little low just to make everybody feel good.
Mm-hmm. 8-4 Cardinals, sixth inning. This day in Pirate history, it was on July 21st, 1982, 20 years ago today, that Willie Stargell hit his final home run. Number 475 off Tom Hume at Cincinnati. And 2 outs in the sixth inning. Willie Stargell hit number 474 off Tom Hume in July of '82, July the 8th of '82, and then number 475 was a game-winning pinch hit home run off Tom Hume, July 21st, 1982. Here's Jim Edmonds. He has become a fan favorite since the third inning. Edmonds on base 3 times today. Singled in the first, driving in a run. Singled and scored in the fifth. In between the intentional walk and all the excitement with Edmonds and Lloyd McClendon, as the intentional walk was ordered from the Pirate dugout. We're not quite sure what that was all about, but the bench is emptied and the bullpen's emptied. 2 balls, 1 strike. We were talking an inning or so ago about the initials for Jack Buck on the uniform on one sleeve and the Darryl Kile initials on the other. 2 members of the Cardinal family dying the same week, interestingly enough. Somewhat chilling, the fact that the night that Jack Buck died, Darryl Kile pitched the Cardinals into first place. 3-2 on Edmonds. Nobody on, 2 outs, 6th inning. The Pirate pitching has not experienced many 1, 2, 3 innings this weekend. As a matter of fact, just 1. The only time this week against the Cardinals that a Pirate pitcher has taken care of the Redbirds 3 up, 3 down, Joe Beimel's first inning Friday night. Pujols, 4 RBIs, 3-run homer in the third, RBI single in the fifth. 8-4 St. Louis, 6th inning.
Pirate pitchers at this point don't give in to any of these big hitters. Down 4 runs, take some chances now. You got to try and throw breaking balls on the corner when you're behind in the count. Here's an example, 3-1. The score was the opposite. You go right at Pujols, but right now, the worst thing can happen would be to give Pujols something right down the middle. He'd crank out of here for another 2 runs. So you got to throw this 3-1 pitch. He just did. Just like it was an 0-2 pitch. You got to just be very careful with it. Stay on the edge of the strike zone. Tough way to have to pitch.
Runner at first, Edmonds takes off. 3-2 pitch, dropped in the seats.
A couple of fastballs that have been away on that outside corner in a real good spot. Watch Jason see what he decides to do here with the next 3-2 pitch. Another fastball. This time that's going to be on the inside.
Another base hit for Pujols. Ball played on a bounce by Giles. And Edmonds stopped between second and third, watching to see to which base Giles was going to throw that ball. The ball went to Jack Wilson, the cutoff man, who was more in line with third base. First and third, 2 outs. Pujols 3 for 4.
Edmonds was almost like he was daring Giles to try and throw him out. It looked like he was trying to draw a throw. You know, could it have been trying to draw the throw to get Pujols to second base?
Shortstop Jack Wilson behind second base. Tino Martinez in the batter's box. Third baseman Ramirez well off the line. And the Cardinals have 12 hits today and lead in the run column 8-4. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Edmonds could take, let's see, it's 90 feet to home. He could take about a 50-foot lead. That's amazing. Why not? Why doesn't he get like...
There he goes. High chopper. And Lincoln does a fine job. The bare hand grab and the throw to Kevin Young. Tino Martinez is out. Eight-4 Cardinals after 5.5. The second Pirate pitcher of the day has worked 2 scoreless innings. Josh Fogg pitched 4+ innings and gave up 8 runs. Lincoln ready to bat second in the 6th inning. Benjamin leads off. Chuck Finley's first start for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's worked 5 and given up 4 runs. Redbirds lead at 8-4.
Somebody throwing that Cardinal bullpen right now as this inning just begins.
Pujols makes the catch, 1 away.
And Finley will probably, well, I think he's hitting 4th next inning. 104 pitches right now. It's going to be it for him, he would surmise. Number 50, that'd be Mike Timlin.
Ball, 1 strike. The Pirates will play in Cincinnati Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then 4 in Houston. Cincinnati Reds out in front of the New York Mets at Synergy 9-0 in the 7th inning. Barry Larkin and Brandon Larson homered for the Reds. Homer descends, pitching the 4-hit shutout for the Reds. Now the Houston Astros out in front of the Chicago Cubs 2-0 in the fourth inning. Lance Berkman a 2-run homer in the first. Pirate telecast coming up this week, Monday and Tuesday in Cincinnati, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Houston, as Finley has done quite a job the third time through the Pirate batting order, recording 6 of his 8 strikeouts this third time through.
And it's all coming after that 40-pitch inning. The second time through the lineup all happened in the third inning. He went through there the second time, all in one inning, took a ton of pitches, and since that, he just has locked himself in.
Often pitchers will have trouble going that third time through the order.
Third curveball of the day wasn't so good as the other two. That one popped out a little early. Yeah, looks like he's still got a pretty good hook. He's not throwing it real hard, but still got a big break to it. Surprised he doesn't mix it in a little more than he does.
It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning. On to the 7th we go. St. Louis out in front of our Buccos 8-4.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, produced exclusively for WB22 by Fox Sports Net.
Good job, Robert.
Not as good a job as Mr. Finley has accomplished today. A little rocky start there, or actually the third inning was the rocky inning. But besides that, he has done a great job against the Pirate team that's swinging some very hot bats beginning of this afternoon.
J.D. Drew, Edgar Renteria, and Mike Matheny to bat in the Cardinals 7th, and the pitcher spot due up 4th. And just to set the record straight, Pirates Public Relations Director Jim Trudinich is 38 today.
Did you tell him I guessed 33?
No, I didn't. I just asked his age and left it at that. Probably should have, though. It could have scored some points for him. There's the boss, too. Jim Trudinich seated in front of our Director of Broadcasting, Mark Garda. Part of the season, the Pirates and the local Dodge dealers inviting Pirate fans to put their names into a box for a drawing. And earlier in this homestand, the winner's name was selected. Tim Sirko was on hand today with his family to drive off in a new Dodge Caravan. Tim and his family driving the Dodge Caravan and grabbing life by the horns. As J.D. Drew strikes out, Mike Lincoln 2 2/3 scoreless innings. St. Louis leads at 8-4 in the 7th. When we come back in a couple of weeks, the San Francisco Giants will be here. Game time on Sunday, August 4th, 1:35. All fans 12 and younger receive a kid's bag courtesy of Giant Eagle. Call 1-877-893-BUCKS or log on to PittsburghPirates.com. Barry Bonds has 595 career home runs, 28 home runs this year. Bonds is hobbled this weekend by a hamstring injury. Renteria's ground ball gobbled up by Jack Wilson. 2 outs.
Now the Cardinals picking up Finley, really a nice little shot in the arm for him. Their starting staff really in shambles. If he can pitch as well as he did today, that's going to help them out a lot. But they're probably going to need just a little bit more help also. One might not be enough.
The Cardinals have an outstanding general manager in Walt Jocketty. A good team of Tony La Russa and Walt Jocketty. Base hit to left field. 2-out single. And we'll get the pinch hitter Miguel Cairo to bat for Chuck Finley. 7th inning, Cardinals in front, 8-4. A dramatically different feel to today's game as opposed to last night and the night before.
I'll bet you Tony, though, still is not comfortable, even though it does. You're right, it has a different feel, but you know, La Russa is probably not real anxious to go to that bullpen of his. He wishes Finley right now would have maybe 85 pitches, 90, something along that line, so we could get another inning or 2 out of him. But that's not the case, so you get a fresh start against somebody else.
Chuck Finley, 6 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned runs. Cairo's fly ball to Heisdu in center. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Good outing for Mike Lincoln. 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark. St. Louis 8, the Pirates 4. The Pirate trip to Cincinnati and Houston, the Bucs are home to host the Colorado Rockies. Night games Tuesday, July 30th, Wednesday the 31st, Thursday, August 1st. And then the 3-game series against Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent, and the Giants, Friday night, August 2nd at 7:05, Saturday night the 3rd, 7:05, and Sunday afternoon the 4th at 1:35. Mike Timlin coming on as the second St. Louis Cardinal pitcher of the afternoon. Timlin's 40th appearance of the year. 1 win, 3 losses, no save, and an earned run average of 2.72.
A good opposition batting average. Way down there at 209. And what's really impressive about that is the lack of base hits and not many walks. Just 7. A lot of times you'll see that low opposition batting average, but the walk number is so high that it kind of cancels it out. He still has a lot of base runners, whoever that pitcher may be, but Timlin able to allow very few base hits and not do it because he's walking a bunch of guys.
Still time for the Pirates to get back in this ball game and sweep the series. Broncos winning Friday night 12-9. The Pirates on top last night 15-6 as Adam Heisdu had 7 RBIs. And the last time the Pirates swept the 3-game series from the Cardinals, it was May of 1991 at St. Louis. And the Pirates have not swept a 3-game series from St. Louis and Pittsburgh since September of '89. Jack Wilson, Brian Giles, and Aramis Ramirez in the Pirates 7th.
Sounds like we're due to me. But we're going to have one of those PNC Park finishes we saw so often last year. We really haven't seen that many this year. Last season, especially on Sundays, well, we could mount some comebacks.
Jack Wilson this afternoon 1 for 3, and Jack has scored a couple of runs. Third baseman Polanco playing up on the edge of the grass. J.D. Drew makes the catch, one away. Checking the RBIs in this ball game, Albert Pujols has 4. 1 each for Fernando Vina, Jim Edmonds, Tino Martinez, and J.D. Drew. Pirate runs batted in. Ramirez 2, Craig Wilson 1, and first Pirate run scored when Giles reached by way of shortstop Renteria's error. There was no RBI on the play. One out, nobody on, 7th inning. 8-4 St. Louis. Bryant has hit 137 home runs as a Pirate. He's 8th on the all-time Pittsburgh Pirates home run list, and 1 away from tying Bill Mazeroski for 7th place. Two balls, 2 strikes. Each team scored a run in the first inning, 3 runs apiece in the third. And the Cardinals scored 1 in the fourth and 3 in the fifth. Fly ball down the left field line. And back out
You know, one of the things that separates Bryant from some of the other very good players in baseball is Brian comes to the ballpark every day, and just it doesn't matter who's pitching on the mound or what the weather's like or anything. He wants to be in that lineup every single day. Loves to play. And there are some very good players in this league that have the same kind of talent, but they just don't seem to always want to be out there. They're looking for some days off.
picking their spots against certain pitchers?
Yeah, I don't know if that's it or not, but you can look around, and I don't have to name names. You look around the league, you'll see some big names that just don't get out there every day.
Another line drive as Renteria tried to catch it, knocked it down, and base hit for Brian Giles.
But Brian is not like that. Brian's one of those guys that he comes in and sees his name not on the board. He's going to go in the office and ask why.
Kendall doesn't like days off. Jason wants to be in there every day. We've seen Kendall do a lot of catching day games after night games.
Probably more than any other catcher that I can think of.
Bob, I still don't have a sense as to whether we're going to see that impressive surge from Aramis the second half of the season, or whether the yelling ankle and the problems he had the first half are just going to make this a so-so year for him.
I don't know either. I don't have a feel for that at all.
A couple times during the first half, late May, early June, I thought he was showing some signs that maybe this was about to be it.
Well, he hit the heck out of the ball down in Houston, but that's a ballpark for some reason he always hits well in. Even when he is slumping, he goes in there and has a big series.
Well, we're going back there, so maybe that'll be the stepping stone for him, the starting off point. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Ramirez has a 2-run single in this ball game today. That'd
be a huge plus if he didn't, suddenly return to form. The two guys hitting in front of Giles, Kimball and Wilson, they're starting to set the table for Brian rather well.
Backhanded by Polanco to Vina, on to Martinez. That's quite a double play right there.
For the second time today, Giles has upset Vina, and Vina's turned it both times.
Welcome back to the ballpark. This is not a replay of the third inning. We've had another flare-up. Tony La Russa went out to talk to the second base umpire. Tony was taking exception to the Giles slide on Fernando Vina. And then Giles and La Russa exchanged words. Here's Polanco with the line, the throw to second base. Second time in the game that Giles has gone in hard on Fernando Vina.
We even kind of showed there a little conversation after that first time, and it looked to be cordial. I don't think Giles is doing anything that you don't do. I mean, that's baseball right there. You go in hard, you try to break up the double play. I don't know what they're upset with in that situation. That's nothing but a hard slide breaking up two. Game's been played that way forever. It wasn't any high cleats or anything like that. I don't know, maybe Tony is just frustrated. He's only just trying to even up the books. Mac yelled at one of his players. He wanted to go yell at one of Mac's. I don't know. It's kind of a strange deal. Larissa's still hollering at somebody now. The bullpens, everybody just kind of talking to each other. What a series. If anything, these three games have been greatly entertaining.
For the eighth inning, Fernando Vina to lead off.
When do we play these guys again? It's going to be fun. I guess we go to St. Louis would be the next time.
We will be in St. Louis for 4 games, August 19th through the 22nd.
Of course, to look forward to.
Oh, wait a minute now. Let me see. The Cardinals come back here before we go to St. Louis.
Oh, they do.
St. Louis is here August 12th, 13th, and 14th. Get your tickets now.
You know, a lot was made of that deal with Mordecai and the Expos, and I thought that was nothing going to happen. I was surprised that there was so much talk and so much print devoted to that. This situation could develop into something. A little grudge match going. You know, I think when the managers get involved, that's what really escalates to a higher plane.
Fernando Vina is 3 for 5 today. He scored a run and knocked in a run. Vina's base hit of the 4th inning drove in the Cardinals' 5th run, and St. Louis leads at 8-4. Mike Lincoln's been on since the 5th. He's pitching into the 8th.
And when you were talking about when Mac and Edmonds were getting into it, reminded you of Leland and Kevin Gross. Now, there's a big difference between those two situations.
How so?
Mac's probably got an even chance against Edmonds. Skipper would have got killed.
August 24th, 1993 at Dodger Stadium it was.
Skipper had no chance.
One thing about the 93 episode with Leland and Gross, and Bob Walk was the cause of the problem. Bruce Fremming was the umpire, was one of the umpires.
Kevin Young was a problem. we just had the problem was on first base. He was the cause.
Gross had hit Kevin with a
Yeah,
pitch, correct?
Young rookie. Got a hit right in the back of the neck.
So you felt you needed to defend him. Yes, no?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer. It was an obvious deal where he was trying to intimidate KY. I think it might have even been an 0-2 pitch, and they hit him right in the back of the neck. So Gross got hit next time he came to the plate.
Bob walk tossed by Mike Winters, the home plate umpire.
I always get a kick out of people saying, well, umpires now they have the power to throw you out without giving you a warning. Well, they've always had that power. An example right there. That, they knew that I hit Gross on purpose, so they tossed me. And that umpires have always been able to do that if they feel that that's the correct way to go. I think everybody knows what they're doing here.
I hope so. Runner going.
It'd be a hit and run. We could replay that. Somewhere in all those touches was a hit and run sign. Getting going through them again.
I think it's okay, Placido. Took a
Now
good look at that bat handle.
That bat, when it's whole and not broke, it's kind of like a tuning fork. It gives you a little boom, boom. How was that? Pretty good?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, you like that? Mm-hmm. When it's broke.
How's it sound? Come on, how's it sound when it's not?
Sound like the Aflac duck.
Not that good. 8-4 St. Louis, 8th inning. Runner going. Another foul ball. Or no, fair ball, excuse me. Ramirez right at the line. And Pena moves up. The out at first, 5-3, 1 away. And Pena and Jack Wilson conferring. I think Jack's asking Pena, did you think those slides were out of line?
Yeah, there's little clubs. There's the pitcher club, the middle infielder club, the catcher club, prima donna club. And the middle infielder club out there working.
Jim Edmonds will be intentionally walked for the second time. It was during his intentional walk of the third that we had the flare up between Mack and Edmonds.
I always especially like to watch the prima donna club in action. That's when you get two guys from two different teams. They act like they're best friends, and they don't know each other at all. But for the cameras and everything, it's like, oh, hugging, how you doing? Don't look at me like that. You've seen it. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I wondered if you wanted to name names. Edmonds at first base after the intentional walk. Vigne's at second. Coming up next, Albert Pujols, who already has 3 hits and 4 RBIs today. He's trying to pull an Adam Heisdu.
It looks like Mack wants somebody else to pitch to Pujols.
Mike Lincoln pitching 3 in the 3rd innings after Josh Fogg pitched into the 5th.
Jack Wilson out of the game.
Nunez comes on. We'll also see a new Pirate pitcher. The Bucks trail 8-4. Our ball game in the 8th inning. As the new Pirate shortstop, Sean Lowe comes on to pitch and puts Sean in the number 2 spot of the Pirate batting order. 36th appearance, 4 wins, 2 losses, no saves. Abraham Nunez is batting 9th. Final score from Synergy. The Reds have defeated the Mets 9-1. Elmer descends over Al Leiter. Larkin and Larson homered for the Reds. Astros and Cubs 2-2 in the 6th inning. Fred McGriff and Mark Bellhorn homering for the Cubs. Lance Berkman a home run for Houston. Vigna at second base, Edmonds at first, 1 out. Sean Lowe pitching for the 3rd time in 4 days. Inning and 2/3 scoreless against the Cincinnati Reds on Thursday, and inning scoreless on Friday against the Cardinals. For St. Louis. Ground ball, Nunez to Benjamin to Kevin Young. Sean Lowe comes on and serves up a double play. No runs, 1 hit, double play, and 1 man left on base. Middle of the 8th inning, the Cardinals 8, the Pirates 4. The bottom of the 8th inning, Craig Wilson, Kevin Young, and Adam Heisdu. The Safe Auto Insurance total, 388 runs times $5, $1,940. Safe Auto Insurance to mothers against drunk driving. Buccos trail 8-4. After the Pirates won the first 2 games of the series from the first place Cardinals. Mike Timlin's 2nd inning of work. Chuck Finley in his first start for St. Louis pitched 6 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned runs, and struck out 8. Craig Wilson, a base hit from driving in a run late last night, and 2 for 3 with an RBI today.
It's not going to be easy, but this will be just a huge win to pull off. Emotionally, I think it would really mean a lot to the Pirates. They have really fought hard these 3 games. Cliche that there is no momentum in baseball. You're only as good as your starting pitcher the next day, and so on and so forth. But I think that's true for the most part, but there are some exceptions. A win today, and with the series going the way it is, the way this game has gone, would maybe have a little carryover effect.
Fouled away, 1 away in the 8th inning. We often think back, Bob, to the 1990 team that had a rather strange early season trip. St. Louis, Chicago, St. Louis, then California, and you guys played extremely well during that trip, and you just seemed to be a totally different ball club after you.
Springboard, and I can think of a moment, and I'll bet you will too. After this pitch, I'll bring it up. Maria gobbles up the ground ball by Young. There was a moment before that worked in reverse. I'm going to say 2 seasons before that, where there was like a big game during the season, and it really took a lot of air out of our sails, and we were just trying to compete with the big boys.
It wasn't the Howard Johnson home run?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. It just, like, from that moment on, things were not the same. It was like we really believed in ourselves, and then all of a sudden it was like, they like slapped us back, like, no, not yet, you're not ready.
The reason I remember that, well, there are a lot of reasons why I remember the Johnson home run, but what stands out from that time was you guys had an off day right after the home run. And I heard everybody saying, well, the off day is good, we'll forget about it, or it'll cleanse us. And I thought just the opposite. I thought, you're going to have to live with this. You're going to have to dwell on it.
Yeah, I don't even know really what our record was after that, but it did have a mental effect on that team. It was like, because we really were starting to think, hey, we're just as good as the Mets are. And then that just turned things around.
It was June 29th, 1988. Mets won that ball game 8-7 in 11 innings. Pirates had a 7-6 lead. There were 2 outs. Howard Johnson homered off Jim Gott on a 1-2 pitch.
You can put 1-2 fastball down there if you want.
Heisdu's foul ball just outside third. Adam Heisdu 7 for 10 with 11 RBIs in the first 2 games of the series. 0 for 2 today. Well, the Cardinals have out hit Lloyd McClendon's Pirates 14-8. In the run column, it's St. Louis 8 and the Pirates 4. Tony La Russa with his pitching coach Dave Duncan. They've been together a long time. Dave Duncan, a former major league catcher. And Barrett yells ball. The count 2-2. 8 Pirate hits, only 1 extra base hit. Jack Wilson's book rule double in the first inning. Bottom of the 8th, Cardinals 8, Pirates 4. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Heisdu dropped one into left field in front of Albert Pujols. Benjamin coming up, and then Abraham Nunez. Mike Shannon, longtime Cardinal broadcaster, former Cardinal third baseman outfielder. Mike Shannon saying that last night on their broadcast, before Nunez stepped into the batter's box, Mike called Abraham Nunez the Pirates' Babe Ruth. Sure enough, Abraham homered off Andy Bennis. And Benjamin with a base hit. Ball bobbled. It gets past Jim Edmonds, and the runners advance an additional 90 feet. Jim Edmonds has won 4 Rawlings Gold Gloves.
Watch, see if this ball takes a bad hop or something. As Edmonds went back and started, I don't know, kind of pawing at the turf after this play was over, like it hit something, took a bad hop, but don't see anything there. It looks like he just missed a ball that was rolling through the grass.
And now Nunez. Abraham Nunez had one of his better games of the year in St. Louis. 3 RBIs and a 5-2 Pirate win at Busch Stadium on June 2nd. Tony La Russa comes out. And Steve Klein warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. And the Redbirds will make a pitching change. Simmons works an inning in 2/3. Boy, you really want to get these 2 runs home. Bucks trail 8-4 in the 8th inning. Klein's coming on. Steve Klein is on for the St. Louis Cardinals. Redbirds lead at 8-4. The Pirates have runners at 2nd and 3rd. It is Klein's 32nd appearance of the year. No wins, 1 loss, and 2 saves. Klein spending a little over a month on the disabled list, late April to the end of May, with a tricep strain.
Tony La Russa, and thinking along the lines that you were, Lanny, these 2 runs are very, very important. Didn't want to take a chance and let Nunez hit left-handed. Wanted to spin him around. What's Abraham's numbers this year, left and right? Not too much of a difference, but really not that many at bats right-handed. Just 25 times this year has Abraham hit from the right side. And hasn't done all that well, just 5 hits in those 25 at bats.
June 2nd Sunday game at St. Louis, in which Nunez had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Those 3 hits came against right-handed pitchers. Ball 1. Kendall's on deck.
Remember, after Kendall is the pitcher spot now.
Two balls, no strikes. Eyes to the runner at third, Benjamin at second base. 3 balls, no strikes. He's taking here, right?
Yes.
Yes. Taken again?
Maybe that's a toss-up. I don't know. I didn't really look at Trent. If I would have been thinking, I could have looked down at Trent. You know, you're going to get a good pitch to hit 3-1. Those two guys in scoring position. That's your argument to swing. He's taking all the way.
The bases are loaded.
You know, 3-1. I would say if you got a disciplined hitter up there, let him swing. If you know he's going to be the type of guy that's only going to hit something that's just right down the middle.
Jason Kendall looking for his first career grand slam. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. St. Louis 8, the Pirates 4. Kendall 1 for 4 in this game. Ball 1. All of this happening for the Pirates in the 8th inning after 2 outs. After Wilson and Young were retired, Craig Wilson and Kevin Young. Heisner singled, base hit by Benjamin. The center fielder's error allowing the runners to go to second and third, then to walk. And Kendall's fly ball to left center, Jim Edmonds makes the catch. Well, there was reason for the Cardinal folks to be anxious about that grab. 3 men left on base. Now to the 9th.
Baseball is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And by your local Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one.
Ball game moves into the 9th inning. Josh Fogg was the Pirates starter, pitching 4+ innings, allowing 11 hits, 8 runs, all earned. And the 2 starters, Finley and Fogg, are the pitchers of record.
Josh, not one of those starters that likes to get in and get the ice and the shower going. Win, lose, or draw, he pretty much stays out in the dugout, at least from what I've noticed.
Tino Martinez leading off the 9th. The New York Yankees have scored a run in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees and Red Sox tied at 8, with the Yankees still batting in the bottom of the 9th. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Reds beat the Mets 9-1 in the National League. Atlanta over Philadelphia 2-1. Kevin Millwood the winner. Martinez grounds out to his counterpart. 1 away in the 9th. Team scored a run in the first inning, 3 runs apiece in the third. A couple of missed opportunities for the Bucks. The Pirates in the 3rd inning, after scoring 3 to tie the game, had an opportunity to take the lead. Runners at first and second, and 1 out. Chuck Finley was able to get Kevin Young to fly out. Heisdu walked, and then Benjamin grounded out. So the Pirates left 3 men on base in the 3rd. And in the 8th inning, Bucks loaded the bases after 2 outs, and Kendall flied out. So Pirates have stranded 9. Right after the Pirates had tied the game with 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, then the Cardinals scored a go-ahead run in the 4th. On the Vina bloop single to center that drove in Chuck Finley. Finley's first major league hit, a 2-out double in the 4th, and Finley scored what is right now the deciding run. And then the Cardinals added 3 runs in the 5th. 3-2 on Drew. The Pirates shifting with shortstop Nunez on the right side of second base. And Ramirez halfway between 2nd and 3rd. Two outs. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Pirates will have the pitcher's spot leading off the 9th inning, followed by Giles and Ramirez, and if someone gets on, Craig Wilson.
Hermanson down in the dugout with a bat. He was on deck when the inning came to an end. Don't know if Mack will stay with him in that spot or not.
Rob Makoviak available on the bench from the left side. Possible that Klein to go to the mound for the bottom of the 9th, and then if Chad's announced, Tony might bring the right-hander on. At the moment, there's no one throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. A 1-2-3 9th inning, so it was an inning and 2/3 for Sean Lowe. Sean retiring the 4 batters that he faced. Now to the bottom of the 9th inning. 9th inning, I didn't really have a chance to follow up on my thought about what might transpire in the bottom of the 9th. Quite obviously, with the left-hander Klein on the mound, and the Cardinals leading by 4 after the right-handed batter Hermanson, who was getting ready to pinch hit for Sean Lowe. You've got left-hand hitting Brian Giles, and it just so happens that Brian is 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts lifetime against Klein. So that's the scenario for the bottom of the 9th inning. Hermanson's average .216, 7 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
I need base runners right now any way we can get them. Polanco playing in tight at 3rd base. He's not going to give Hermanson an easy bunt base hit.
Vina playing Hermanson perfectly, 1 away. 9th inning, the Cardinals in front 8-4. We've been looking at this 8-4 score since the 5th.
Bit of a gauntlet's been thrown down in this series. I think the Cardinals will play the Pirates with a little different, I don't know, a little different attitude maybe next time they come to town.
Is that good news or bad news for the Pirates?
Oh, I think it's good. I don't want a team coming in here trying to, take us lightly. I want them to know that they're going to have to fight as hard against us as they do the Arizona Diamondbacks. Can't come in here and just expect to walk out with 2 out of 3.
2 outs. Pirates trail 8-4, 2 outs in the 9th inning. And the Advance Auto Parts player of the game, Albert Pujols. 4 RBIs, 3-run homer in the 3rd off Josh Fogg, and an RBI single in the 5th off Josh. Pujols, 75 RBIs. 3rd in the league. We're in Cincinnati tomorrow night. Probable starters Jimmy Anderson and Ryan Dempster. Jimmy Anderson beat Dempster here at PNC Park Wednesday night 6-3. Airtime tomorrow night on the Fox Sports Net. 2-1 pitch coming up from Klein. And the Pirates are going to have to settle for 2 out of 3 this weekend against the first place St. Louis Cardinals. Chuck Finley gets the win. Josh Fogg the loser. The final score of the Cardinals 8, the Pirates 4. Pirates take 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals. The Buccos will they're now 8.5 games out of first place.
They didn't win today, but they can still be very proud of their work this weekend. Probably made a statement as much to themselves as they did to the Cardinals. They got to believe now that they can play with anybody in our division anyway. And I just hope that the offense that we saw, kind of start coming alive. It's what we're going to see the second half. I mean, that's a real good sign. I hope it's for real.
The Cardinals 8 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. The Pirates 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Our next telecast is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock airtime on Fox Sports Net. Jimmy Anderson and Ryan Dempster, the probable starters. Coming up on WB22, Full House. And on Fox Sports Net, Inside Pirates Baseball. Chuck Finley, the winning pitcher. He's 1-0. Josh Fogg, the loser, 10-7. Steve Klein gets his 3rd save. And we remind you to check out Pittsburgh Sports Tonight for a recap of the ball game and more about Pirates baseball. 27,999 on hand today. Thanks to Pirate fans for coming out during this 5-game homestand. Well, the Buccos have still won 8 of their last 11. The final score, the Cardinals 8, the Pirates 4. Friends, thanks very much for being with us. Now we bid you a good day from the ballpark.